Hi, I'm Sarah Starkiller, and this is.
What's up, guys? It's Triflip 101 here.
And this is our out of theater experience.
Absolutely. Out of theater experience. We're technically still in the theater, but you know how we're coming. We got to get the review off immediately. All right. So, what did we just see?
Today we saw Y2K, courtesy of A24. Thank you for sending free
Thank you,
tickets.
A24. Yes, sir. Um, Great movie, actually. I mean, well, it's a movie. How do you feel about it?
Wait, that just went like from. All right.
Like, I really wanted to like it a lot.
Yeah, here's my thing. So I feel like a lot of it is very like nostalgia baity. As someone who like grew up in the time the music hit, like all the little references, which there were a lot. There were a lot of like little one-liners that you're like, ah, I remember that from an ad, or haha, I remember that from whatever.
Right.
So it is because of that. There's like this connection where I'm like, oh yeah, like I love it. But then like when I really sit down with it, I'm like, that was.
Did you call it Beatty?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like nostalgia baity.
Yeah, it was. They were pandering for sure.
Yeah, to the millennials, to my generation for sure. Like,
kind of made me feel young because I didn't get a lot of it. I am 30 years old, but a lot of those things I just was sheltered from. So I never had an AOL. I never had a MySpace. So while she would get all these, she's like, I remember that video player.
I spent my entire life on Line and AOL and AIM and Yahoo and MSN and Hotmail. So there was even like, if you're old like me, there's a gif of a dancing baby in a diaper, which I know you have no idea where that's from.
No clue.
It's from Ally McBeal, which is a show about like a lawyer.
Really?
Yeah. I think the actress is the lead in that. I think she's married to Harrison Ford or was married to Harrison Ford. But that was like from an episode where she's like thinking about if she's getting too old to get pregnant. But then that became like a meme online where people were just sending that stupid little baby like in emails. Which exactly,
that's
right?
Amazing.
Like, who would get that? So obviously, the director is Kyle Mooney. He was a writer for SNL, as far as I know. He also did another movie called Brixby Bear, which I've never seen.
Okay.
But like, you can tell he grew up in this time, like 100%. You know, like to have something like that in there, which is so, to me, like I feel like to general masses, very obscure.
Right.
Kyle Mooney is the.
He's Garrett.
Yeah. Yeah, but like he's like a hippie guy. He's a really funny character.
Right. Yeah, okay, so let's take a step back here to get on track. You're clicking on this video because we've got a kid. You're good. Dude, earlier that kid at the skates. Oh, you weren't there.
All right, I'm keeping this in.
This kid at the skate spot, like her and her mom walked by in and out of the Macy's spot twice, and she would just like bring her kid to watch me skate. It was like, yeah, no pressure. Anyways, yeah, people are clicking on this video because number one, they probably never heard of this movie. They're in movie YouTube and whatever. We're probably gonna chop this up, put it on TikTok too, right? So yeah, movie TikTok. So this movie Y2K, directed by who?
Kyle Mooney.
By Garrett?
Yeah.
No way.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
that's
he
so
is
cool.
the hippie guy.
Okay, that's sick. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. You know I don't listen to you.
That's so true. I've learned that.
But yeah, so I mean, the movie is, it's just a fun, like, how would you describe it?
I feel like it is, it's not bad, like at all.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. I think I wanted to like it more than I did, but with that said, I still liked it, you know? Like, it is a fun, it's being billed as like a horror comedy. I'm not sure if I would like
even
totally agree with that. Even though there is some gore and
but it's
horror
very
aspects, I feel like it's more comedy.
It's fun. Yeah, it's more fun than anything, and even the gore shots weren't too in depth of like, oh, look at this.
And even like some of the deaths were hilarious.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Stupidly funny, you know?
Yeah. I kept, like, you know, in certain movies you'll get into, well, at least I will get into a place where I'm like, oh, like I'm really deeply connected to this character, or like the stakes just seem higher, and it's like, oh, like this is serious. Like, yeah, like a good example would be like when I used to watch I Love Lucy, and like Lucille would be getting into like all these crazy things, and the anticipation, the anxiety of like what's gonna happen if she doesn't get this together by the time Ricky finds
Yeah,
out or
Tom
something.
or whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
like whatever it was. Like I didn't feel any of that. It felt very much like every time I would try and get into it, I'm like, none of this matters because number one, it's not real, and number two, like the deaths and everything are so funny and comical that it's like this isn't to be taken serious.
Yeah.
So it's just a fun movie.
Yeah, it is
and
all like outlandish.
At some points, in my opinion, I thought this is kind of pointless. Like, why am I even wasting my time? Like being in.
Yeah, what was a part? I guess are we gonna get into spoilers? I guess.
Yeah, you already know there's spoilers. If you're watching this, there's a little bit of spoilers, but the spoilers we're gonna give you are not gonna be so in depth that you're like, oh, because you're not gonna know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's if you see it, then you'll know. But let's say like afterwards, like we already got how much he cares about his best friend Danny. But it's like we don't need to have at the funeral scene. Yeah, like the movie could have been over before the funeral scene.
Okay, I agree. I definitely agree with that.
And that's not to say I wasn't enjoying myself. I just was like, okay, let's wrap this up.
Yeah. How did you feel about the characters?
Characters were good. I wish I didn't know that girl was from Songbirds and whatever. Yeah, because in that movie, she's made to be such an adult type figure. You know, she's dating whoever that dude was, like the main like killer guy.
In that movie, they're also kids. They're still young in that too.
I guess, but in my head, it's more like, oh, she's like this fierce person who's like, she had to be an adult in order to stay alive and like fight back against whatever. What movie is that?
The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Right. So her being one of the stars in this movie, and it's a high school flick, I think. They're in 8th grade at the beginning of it.
No, they're graduating college at the end.
At the end. They were in 8th grade at the beginning, though.
No,
they had just graduated 8th grade.
No, they were in high school already.
Okay, something said something about 8th grade in there.
Because if 5 years later they're graduating college,
that's why it started.
Like
they graduated college?
Yeah, that's what it said. Like, oh, we're graduating college, and I'm going here.
Either way, high school, to see her as a high schooler, like it was just kind of like, oh, I don't know. That kind of it crossed my mind a couple times.
Really?
And yeah. So that aside from her, everyone else was like they fit it. Like
really?
Julian Dennison, is that the kid's name? He fit that perfectly. He's obviously a high schooler. Like and then the other kid, Jaden Martell, who plays Eli, he fits it perfectly because he's the stuttering kid.
From it. I will say, I feel like they all like fit it so well, including her. Like I think they all look super young, even though they're all like in their 20s. They're all well into adulthood already, I believe.
Right. Rachel's 23.
Yeah, Rachel Ziegler. I have thoughts about Rachel Ziegler, but I will say everything I see her in, I like her in. Like in this,
she was still cute.
Yeah, she's good.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah,
just saying that like you can't. Obviously, you have to leave everything else from any movie outside, but like. I still saw her a lot in that, so I don't know. That's just me.
I will say the three of them are probably like the best actors in it. Like Rachel might be the best.
Dude, the kid Leroy.
I know. That's exactly what I was gonna get at. Is that when we were watching it, that guy is Soccer Chris. I was like, man, this guy is not a good actor. Like it could have got like anybody else. Why is this guy? Then in the end, to see in the credits, it's the kid Leroy. I was like, he looks so different with just a haircut. Like,
it was pretty gnarly. I was like, I know I've seen those teeth before.
Not the teeth.
Yeah, it was the teeth for me.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Would you recommend it to anybody? Like, would you be like, hey, I saw this movie and no, you wouldn't?
Unfortunately, I would not.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think I would recommend anybody go to the theater to see it. Like, you definitely don't have to go to.
It's a good at-home watch, I guess.
If it's like on Netflix and you're like, let me put on a movie.
What's that one Hot Tub Time Machine? 2 or whatever, or like that one End of the World movie with all those crazy bunch of stars.
I love that movie.
I forget what it's called.
I think it's This Is the End.
Yeah, or like the End. Yeah, something like that.
With James Franco and Seth Rogen.
Unstoppable cast.
Yeah.
It's just like. It's like that level of watch. It's just like completely fun fiction that's like just silly.
It's very much so like turn your brain off. You don't really have to think about it. It does have like some greater message about technology and humanity, which for sure. But like,
everyone already we get that message on
every day.
Much more simple, like I don't know. It's just, you don't have to go that crazy. So it's fine. I mean, at this point, when every movie has been done, like in order, to take something small and be like, okay, here, let's think about the fact that there was a Y2K scare, and like to sit there and be like, let's make a movie about it. Like, why not? If you have a budget, you have people who might want to go see it, make a movie out of something. That's
for
fine.
sure. Like it is very creative in the way that it went about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could have done it in a very like serious way. I feel like a lot
Yeah.
of people
What do
would
you
have
think
done
would
it
have
in
made
serious.
it any better?
Any better? I mean,
Like, can this be better?
I don't think so because I think changing anything about it would make it into a completely different movie. Like if you change the
That's
tone,
fine. Let's say you change it into a different movie and it's still about Y2K. What could be changed? Nothing?
I
Like,
mean,
what
yeah,
would you like to have seen out of it?
I don't know. I guess I would have liked it to be a little more grounded in reality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, technology is uprising, but
Right,
like
but
in
there
a
could be a different
realistic
way, yeah,
way.
where it's not just
Because,
something being like
yeah,
building stuff
like
out of
I'm
your.
gonna say, I guess,
I like that.
spoiler, there is like Optimus Prime fucking machines, Transformers that like happen. But I think that's ridiculous, which really takes you out of it and makes it super silly.
Very true.
But
Where
they
it's like,
looked
and they
cool.
show different, yeah, they show different parts where like someone has the moment of idea to be like, oh, I can just stomp this thing out. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Like,
yeah, like
couldn't you do that with every single machine then?
exactly.
Yeah, like that
just be
was
careful. They're
yeah,
not that fast. They didn't get fast until way later. So.
exactly. Um, but
Like
those
people are
machines,
getting knocked out by tapes flying out of a like VHS
yeah,
machine.
really
Like,
tight. Like,
bruh, the tape would break before it hurt your head.
yeah,
Like,
it would hurt, but it wouldn't like
she was immediately
kill you.
bruised.
Yeah. Um, but I will say those machines like were done practically, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
So
That was cool.
I will give them props on that, but I do think it was just ridiculous.
For sure.
But the ridiculousness makes it fun, I think.
Yeah,
So
like I said, it was fun.
Yeah,
it's
as long as you're able to have like go into it being like, all right, yeah, I'm not gonna take this super seriously, then you'll enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And that's why I feel like that's
and I
what
had
makes it a whole
forgotten.
movie.
Yeah, I forgot completely what it was about. So I went in, like I saw one preview for it, and then that was it. And then watching it right now, I completely forgot what the preview was. So I was like, okay, Y2K, and then I saw like the billboard, and it had like a plug-in, but it was like sharp and it had blood on it. So I'm like, okay, so it's the machines or some shit. But yeah, so then going in with no idea at first, I was like, oh, like I kind of liked the actual reality parts of it, like the friendship building and like, oh, let's like meet this girl, like I'm gonna be your wingman type thing. Like I like that way more than
that was longer.
Yeah.
I think especially because that whole beginning part reminds me of Didi, remember?
Diddy.
You know, Didi, that one 90s like skater boy movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. That movie was fire.
It reminds me of that, and that's what makes me have wanted this to be better. Because it's like you could have captured that moment in time a little better.
I tried to make the most out of it by going along with, even though it's very obvious pandering. Like, oh, let's talk about how he has costumes on, like the SG. Like, I went along with it. I'm like, okay, cool. And this is the guy who would be listening to SoundCloud, whatever the underground music is. Like, okay, like let's have fun with this. So that's what it is. You go have fun. If there's anything else better to watch out there, then go watch that, in my opinion. But
yeah, definitely.
Hey, what I can commend them on is they are funding movies for anyone who has an idea. This guy who is in his own movie was able to, he directed it or whatever?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Give him the opportunity, you know? What if it really did good? What if it really does good? My opinion is my opinion. So go see it and, maybe you'll like it better.
Yeah, be your own judge, form your own opinion for sure. But I liked it. It was fun. Yes. How many ticket stubs are you going to give it then out of 5?
I think 2.5.
2.5?
2 people and a kid.
All right. I wouldn't take your kid to see this, by the way. But
kids nowadays, that wasn't scary for kids nowadays.
It's not scary, but there's like nudity.
Okay. I mean, nowadays, bro.
Okay. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 ticket stubs.
That's a safer way to go. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's an average movie.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right down
I'm going 2.5 though.
Yeah, definitely you could do that. All
right. So we got 2 3/4 ticket stubs together between us, and I mean, again, thanks A24. This is a very nice thing to be watching on what's today? Friday night. We are out here at Regal in Sherman Oaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, used to be the
The
This
arc
used to
light.
be the arc light. I love the arc light.
For all the LA people out there.
Yes, sir. The arc light.
R.I.P. arc light.
Man, I will never forget watching Perks of Being a Wallflower here. Anyways, thank you for having me once again.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. And we'll see you guys next time on Out of Theater
Experience. Dude, these outtakes are gonna go crazy.
Get me out of this makeup. One shot and one shot only.
Get me out of this makeup. Get me out of this work.
All I know is I got this beautiful cup. God damn.
Start this already.
Your hair is all up in the mic already. All right. Last time I think I opened it. So
I
this time
did.
you have to. No, I did, and I set you up. I was like, "Welcome back to another episode of."
No, that's what you do right now.
No, I did that last time, right?
No. How could it be welcome back when that was our first episode?